Hello， 大家好，我是 Veronica。讲到坐姿呢，其实大家的观念都已经越来越好了。只要想到坐姿，大家一定会想到说，那我要把椅子坐满，让我的腰尽量去服贴在椅背上面。但是不晓得大家有没有发现说，尽管我们已经尽量的让腰椎有很多的外力去支撑它，减轻它的压力，但是很多人的腰椎僵硬问题还有肩颈酸痛问题仍然是无解的，反而有越来越严重的情况。这确实也开始让我去思考说，为什么我们给腰椎有这么多外力的支撑，它仍然没办法解决问题？难道我给腰椎有过多的支撑是不对的吗？所以我今天会跟美国脊椎外科医师 Dr. Osler 一起来跟大家破除腰椎的迷思。Hello， 很欢迎 Dr. Osler 再次来跟我们一起讨论有关坐姿的议题。那我想先请医师来跟大家打声招呼。
你好，我是医师 Osler. Hello, my name is Dr. Osler, and I'm an emeritus professor at the University of Vermont, interested in sitting better.
好，首先第一个问题呢，我想跟医生讨论的是，在以前呢，我们常常会鼓励大家坐椅子的时候呢，要坐好坐满，坐在后面，让腰可以在椅背上面来减轻腰的压力。可是后来我发现，这样的建议其实没有办法真正舒缓腰椎的疼痛，也没有办法解决疾病的问题。那不知道医生是怎么看的呢？
Well, I think putting backs on chairs has been a catastrophe. We sat on chairs that had no backs for hundreds, maybe thousands of years, quite comfortably. And it's remarkable that chair designers just less than 100 years ago decided that a human being couldn't sit without a back on their chair. We know this isn't true because for a very long time we sat without backs on chairs. I love this story. A Tai Chi teacher observed that the back of a chair is for hanging your coat. If you feel like you need to lean against it, you should go home and take a nap. You're too tired to work. And I think that's exactly right. The business of leaning against the back of a chair really distorts our posture. When chairs were introduced and people were sitting with their knees at right angles, their ankles at right angles, and their hips at right angles, it was observed that they kind of lost the normal hollow in their back, the lumbar lordosis. And chair designers knew that that was a problem because sitting slumped is just a prescription for back pain. And so they introduced lumbar support, which was designed to push the low back forward. But this results in a posture that's really non-anatomic and even more, by adding lumbar support, they made the problem worse. It's my view that you're better off not using the back of your chair at all. You should slide forward on the chair, not even touch the back of your chair. It's okay to lean back and rest for a moment, but when you're sitting and working, you should be well away from the back of your chair.
那我再来想要问的是，大家都有脊椎问题的时候啊，其实都还蛮在意自己的坐姿是不是不好的，然后也会想要去改善自己的坐姿。但是你認為真的有所謂的正確的坐姿嗎？
Well, everybody has essentially the same spine. It has a low back curve, a kyphosis in the thorax, and then a neck curve. Optimal sitting posture really allows you to, the spine to assert its normal curves. And we see this when people are standing comfortably. The best sitting posture recapitulates standing posture and letting your spine support your entire body. And again, it's very difficult to have your spine support you in a normal way when you're leaning against the backrest and the armrest and the headrest and the footrest. You're much better off allowing your spine to support you from within. You can almost think of your spine's bony architecture as internal ergonomics that organizes your posture in an optimal way. All the attempts to improve people's posture by propping them up with supports from the outside really have just caused mischief, because even if you got it exactly right to support people in just the right way, it wouldn't fit the next person. Everybody's spine is different, everybody's height is different, everybody's body proportions are different. So if you were to try and pursue adjusting a chair to support somebody perfectly, you'd probably never get it right because there would be so many adjustments. So I think we're much better off relying on the internal adjustments that we were all born with.
那你认为到底是坐姿不良跟腰痛的关联性比较大呢， 还是因为坐太久不动跟腰椎疼痛的关联性比较大呢？
I think the answer is both. The spine is amazingly adaptable. It can assume so many different postures when you're running or jumping or dancing or wrestling. But in order to be able to assume so many postures, it has to be extremely flexible and adaptable. When we sit, though, we tend to adopt one posture for a very long time. And this is something the spine isn't really very good at unless it's in its balance point, that neutral spine that you achieve when you're standing comfortably. When you sit for long periods of time in a chair, people tend to slump because of the design of the chair. And now their posture is bad, and it's bad for a long time. The result is that the normal architecture of the spine is distorted, and it puts stresses on the spine that it's not really designed for. So we know that when people sit in a slumped posture, the pressure inside the vertebral discs of the low back increases. And we know that people who sit a lot have increased rates of radicular pain, herniated nucleus pulposus, back disc problems. So by adopting a more upright, normal posture closer to standing while you're sitting, the pressures in the vertebral discs are normalized and herniated discs become less likely. So ironically, the chairs that were invented to make us more comfortable are actually causing back problems and very severe and significant problems such as herniated discs.
那你有没有遇过有人开完脊椎的刀之后呢，去上班的时候仍然都久坐不动呢？不知道医生有没有像这样子的经验？然后他们过没多久之后又要再去开第二次的刀。
It happens all the time. You know, surgeons really want to have patients who really want to get better because getting better after surgery is really a team effort. The surgeon does his best in the operating room and providing, suggestions and guidance and exercises and physical therapy. But the patient has to do their part as well. And we sometimes find patients who just want to be fixed, like they were a broken clock or a malfunctioning iPhone. Really, that's not how it works. You have to be willing to put in a little bit of effort in order to get the result that you want. Surgery is like a wake-up moment for patients where they decide, okay, now I have to make a change in my life. But this doesn't always happen. Some patients are unwilling to take on that responsibility. And their results are never quite as good as they could be, and sometimes are bad. Every surgeon hopes for a patient who wants to be a partner, not just a piece of equipment that's going to be repaired.
但是如果说大家就真的没有办法去选择自己的工作姿势，像司机或是老师，或是一些办公室人员，他们必须长期久坐的话，那医师这边有没有什么建议可以舒缓腰椎吗？
It's a big problem because when you design a car seat, you design it to be safe in the event of a crash. I was a trauma surgeon for many years, and in my view, the purpose of a car is to keep you from dying if you crash. And that really constrains the design of the seat of a car in a way that doesn't make it very good for sitting. And so people spend a lot of time in cars ordinarily, and some people spend their whole careers in cars, cab drivers, bus drivers, people who drive harvester combines to harvest grain. A lot of people spend their whole careers sitting in machinery. And my heart goes out to them because we can't change the design very much because it has to keep them safe. For office workers have many more options because they can get up and walk around. And that's the single most important thing. We know that merely getting up every half hour for as little as 2 minutes, a little movement snack, can improve the serum biochemistry, make your bad cholesterol go down, make your good cholesterol go up, and make your insulin go down. So all of the things that keep you healthy in your blood chemistry can be improved by just little movement snacks, just a couple of minutes every half hour. Also, getting up and moving around lets people adjust their posture and kind of get the kinks out. Sadly, many people just don't remember to get up, or they get so involved in their work that they don't get up. And in that circumstance, you might have to change the chair. If you can make a chair that keeps people moving while they're sitting, that way, even if they get involved, their body can still have a little freedom of motion.
其实这个观念真的很重要，因为大家只要稍微站起来，2-3分钟就可以很好的保护自己的脊椎。那当然，这个东西大家很常忽略，通常都是等到痛的时候才会有这样子的观念。大家每做1个小时，稍微起来动动，其实就会让你的脊椎有很好的舒缓了。今天真的很谢谢 Dr. Arthur 来给我们这些宝贵的建议。那坐姿本身对腰的负担，它就是比站姿来的大很多。就算我们在坐的时候给腰椎很多的支撑，其实也没有办法完全抵消对腰椎的伤害。我们的脊椎它本身就是一个很需要活动的关节，它当初设计就是拿来活动的。那有足够的活动，里面的血液才会流动，水分才会充足。当然，有时候需要久坐的时候呢，适当的支撑是可以帮助我们腰椎肌肉有放松。但是要记得，绝对不能光靠腰椎支撑就想要解决所有腰椎的疼痛，这基本上是不可能的。那想要解决脊椎僵硬或是椎间盘突出，或是神经压迫的问题，就一定要先让脊椎慢慢的动起来，才有可能从疼痛中慢慢好起来。好，那我们今天的分享就到这边啦。再次谢谢 Dr. Arthur。
Thank you again.
OK， 拜拜。
Bye bye.
如果大家有问题的话，可以在下方留言，我跟 Dr. Arthur 会选出3个留言，亲自回答大家的问题哦。